Remember, they're changing my voice. Keep in mind, I consider what people have to say. I watch, Fox at times, Fox clips. I watch clips from CNN. My parents watch CNN all the time. I overhear it. Um, I watch California Insider quite regularly. Okay, and they have people from different parties come on and weigh in and so on and so forth. So I consider what they have to say time and time again. And this one gentleman who came off as rather professional, rather insightful, he said that, that part of the problem is people are calling each other evil and so on and so forth. Okay. So again, you must consider the context. Would you say that, let's say that there's a bunch of homeless people that yell and scream in the streets, and there's a political dissident who's not necessarily homeless, which it doesn't really matter if he is or not, right? And he's being tortured, and he's screaming. Would you then say, hey, you know what? That political dissident is part of the problem because he's screaming? No, those people who are torturing him are the problem. So while they're persecuting me, and while society has denied me a suitable helper as a brain surgeon son, the son of two doctors, one is a brain surgeon and a humanitarian. I'm in California where there's supposed to be all this compassion and all these college people, college professors, students, all these liberals, liberal arts education, and they're shunning me for being righteous and a humanitarian son. For showing up everyone else by being far more righteous than they are, I'm being shunned for that. Okay? And you can imagine that's infuriating. Just earlier, I got into a little accident with a deer after some rich people set me up to get into the accident. And they say things like, well, if you lie about this, this, and this, then we're going to leave you alone. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to betray God. I'm not going to pretend that idolaters are equal or greater than I am. I'm not going to do that. Now, I'm focusing on trying not to insult people in this video to make my point. Okay? And just the facts insult them. Okay? The facts of the matter insult them and suggest that they're evil. And if they provoke me and press me, and they rub in the fact that they're raping people, including children, and they make jokes about it, and they do outrageous things that are far more than enough to drive a preacher wild, as the saying goes, okay, then yes, I'm going to fire back. My videos would have been much more diplomatic if there was other people helping me make them, and if they didn't try to get me to compromise to make the video. I have plenty of videos with interviews and witnesses testifying about them sabotaging me, where I'm not yelling in them, I'm not going on and on about who I hate or calling people names. I have plenty of videos like that. Okay? Because there's someone else there, and I say, you know what, I'm going to kind of, I have time to rest and think and speak, instead of being fumed like I am right now, and being provoked and being irritated, okay, and often hungry because they covertly drug my food, so I have to be careful about where I buy my food. And quite often, it's basically always drugged to some degree, no matter where I go. I could drive 100 miles away, and it's drugged. And remember, I have 23 witnesses on record. This is a massive campaign to mock the idea that Jesus is superimposed on. Okay, the reason why they have a false Christ is, false image of Christ, is because they're superimposing another idea on them. That was the way Westerners mock people, right? They dress up like a clown and mock black people. Or the black faces, right? They dress up someone else, and that person represents that person's role to mock them. That's why their false image of Christ looks like a jester, and it looks like a governing class English person or something, because that's their tradition. They mock the righteous while they rape and kill like pirates or something. That's why there's a group called Skull and Bones at Yale. And there's people at Yale who went around yelling, no means yes, and yes means anal. Look it up, okay? Frats have a huge problem with rape, and they're like the who's who of a satanic society. These frat guys and these social clubs and these quote-unquote gentlemen's clubs, okay? And their culture is to mock and provoke the righteous. So you then can't turn around and say, hey, even though these people, even in the Bible, right, they're poisoning people, right, saying they're forced to drink poison water, okay, they fed Jesus vinegar and so on and so forth, okay, they mock and they poison people. When they did the lynchings, with their hound dogs, they would call it the hunt, right? It was the hunt. It was the hone T. That's a story for another day. T is the feminine suffix, okay, and it was a hunt. And they put on the white robes to represent the spirit of white people, and they would hunt these people down, Okay, and then they would lynch them. Okay, and before the time they would groom them for the hunt, right? They would poison them. They would do certain things to prepare them for the hunt. Okay, think about it. Look up the details. Ask me about it. I'll give you the sources. I'll give you the sound etymology, linguistics, and lexicon related proofs that overkill that's what's going on here. I'll show you the scriptures. There's an overwhelming amount of evidence, right? The word position is poisonous scrambled. The word fume is F-U-me. So it is outrageous to pretend even for a moment this isn't going on. If you cover up for the Klan and their allies and the modern day rich Klan, rich white racist America and rich white racist Jews and LGBT, then you're no better than they are. Not only are you slacking your work, you're actively covering up for them. You people are purging. You people are hunting. You people are legally, quote unquote, legally, right? Profane law of the land, legal lynching, because you're working, it's illegal technically. But law enforcement is helping you do it. And I don't respect that at all. And I'm not going to team up with people who worship the devil to make it so that people who worship the devil as poor people have it a little bit easier. That's not going to happen. Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, rich and poor alike. If you don't obey God through me, your soul is done. And your offspring souls are done.